Hello and welcome. It is episode 10. Oh my goodness. 10 whole episodes. We are like big girl. We're at the big girl. We're double digits. Welcome to the double digits episode of the Miss Ali Makes podcast. It is so lovely to have you. I am your host, Miss Ali, and if you cannot already tell, yes, the accent is an Aussie girl. I live on the east coast of Australia with my hubby and our 3 amazing kiddos, and I am all about living the craftiest life possible. And so this podcast is, of course, a podcast about knitting and yarn and all the crafty things that happen, of course, in my life. So welcome. I know that it has been a little bit more than 2 weeks, so I apologize. I am just drinking black tea, extra strong because it's an extra strong tea kind of morning. It's Sunday here and it is the 19th of November. And so I have been really busy of late, the last couple of weeks. I mean, I think I say I've been really busy every single time I podcast, but I don't feel like I am any different to anyone else because we are all crazy busy, right? I have been adjusting to heading back into the workforce after having 10 years at home with my kiddos. And I really am so blessed and thankful to be able to have even got a job in the support industry, which is pretty much great for me. You know, my heart's purpose in life is to love, serve and encourage others and to bring grace and bring a grace-filled life as much as I can. So the fact that I get to go and do that and be a blessing for community makes my heart pretty happy. So that, of course, has encroached a little bit on my, all day crafting time. But I think that really what has happened is it's made me adjust and readjust some things and sort of block out some very deliberate time to be crafty. So it's not a bad thing. And what else is happening? We're a few weeks out from our annual beach holiday. I cannot even tell you how excited I am. Man, it's going to be awesome. So every year, my family and a few other families from our church, we all go camping together at this really lovely place. It's about an hour and a half north of where I live, and we are across the road from the beach, and it's got a really great pool in the park that we stay at, the holiday park, and it's just a really, really nice time. I really look forward to it every year. I was just saying to my husband last night, I think that this is our 5th year of going, and I look forward to it just the same every single year. It's something to look forward to for us, and I just feel like we really get to unplug, rest and recharge heading into the crazy Christmas season. And it's almost like we really miss the manic Christmas season, those, because we tend to go, this year we're going for 10 days. So we literally get back a few days before Christmas. And so I feel like we miss out on that manic rush of late nights, late night shopping, excessive buying, so much, it's almost like that's that fear that we're going to miss out on the great deal or something like that. So I feel like we really miss out on all of that. And for me, that really is great because my anxiety levels don't necessarily do well with crowds and crazy busy time, and so it really is a great time for us to refuel, refocus, and I sort of use it as a little bit of a time to sit and just be in that space and sort of look ahead a little bit into what 2018 might look like. So I'm very excited, and I am terribly sorry, but I've kind of rambled a little bit for about 6 minutes. What? Oh well, you guys that come and hang out with me, you know that I love to ramble a little bit, and you love hanging out with me anyway. So that's pretty much, like I said, it's been a little bit of an adjustment the last few weeks, getting into the swing of things, trying to get a bit more sorted around the place. You know, getting a little bit better with meal planning and just getting some things done so that the week is a little bit more seamless, with me not being home all the time during the day. So, but I have actually been knitting when I have been able to, and I have 2 finished objects. What? I know, it's almost like we've got to pull the pause button and go, what did she say? Did she say she's got a finished object? No, friends, I got 2. So I've sort of got a little bit of a setup next to me. So I'm sorry if I kind of am, you know, I'm in a different location today. It's too hot to be podcasting outside. It's so bright, and I actually don't want to sit there with sweat dripping off of me. So I am inside my house with the air conditioning on, and I feel like this is a much better option for both of us, or all of us. So I can't remember if I showed this on my last podcast, but these are my harvest socks finished, and I love them. The light is blowing out a little bit, but so this is a collab that I did, a Halloween collab with the beautiful Julie from Smudged Yarns. So she hand dyed both yarns, and we had a kit, so I made the project bag and she made the yarns. So this is my harvest sock, and I love it. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. And the heels, toes and cuffs are in Witch's Brew, which was also hand dyed by her. So, yay! Who even knew that I'm a crazy mad sewing person? Get it together. My goodness, Alison, seriously, what the heck? And so then the next finished object is for a friend, some gift knitting for Christmas. I never really know how to get these things on the sock blocker, and these will be loose on my sock blocker because they are much bigger than my feet. So my feet are around about a size 7, ladies 7, and I've made these to be, they'll fit a 9 or a 10. But these are very sweet. These are socks for a very good friend of mine for Christmas. And this yarn was a one-of-a-kind yarn dyed up by my friend Vanessa from My Creative Garage, and it is on her sparkle base, which you can definitely see the flecks of, and it is pink and purple, which is my friend's favorite colors. So I knit those up as well. And now they're just going to sit and wait until Christmas for me to gift them to her. It is, of course, and so I do my toes. I can't even talk today. Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry. So I do toe up socks. I do Judy's Magic cast on. I did 64 stitches. I did a fish lips, kiss a heel, and then I did 2x2 rib. I normally do about 20 rows, and then I do Judy's super stretchy bind off for the tops. So like I said, it is super freaking hot here in Australia today. Well, not really hot, it's like humid, and so I have run around this morning and I have cleaned 2 bathrooms, vacuumed and mopped floors. I'm looking outside as my outside just here, and I've got 2 loads of washing on the line. So there's just stuff everywhere, but I feel like I've run a bit of a marathon this morning because it's so hot and it's so humid, and I hate it because it's like you're just sweating your head off, even though really I've had a shower and I'm, you know what I mean, but I'm literally dripping in sweat. So that's a really lovely visual for everybody, so that's great. Enjoy. The other super exciting thing that I have been doing is I have been dyeing my own yarn. Oh my goodness, it is so flippin' exciting. So I've wanted to, I suppose, have a bit of a go at dyeing my own yarn for a while, but I don't know, I think I felt a bit overwhelmed and I wasn't really sure whether I would be able to do it, and whatever. Anyway, so last week I'm just going to have a little bit of morning tea too while I'm here. It's a bit after 11. I made blueberry, banana and sultana loaf yesterday. It's really yummy. So I thought I'm just going to sit here and eat a little bit. Sorry about that. So last weekend, might have even been a couple of weekends ago. Oh no, last weekend I think. I was like, right, I've watched so many videos on YouTube on how to dye yarn, and I really found that the videos from Nicole of Helloooooo, the dyeing yarn videos, were really, really helpful. So if you or someone that you know is keen to give hand dyeing some yarn a go, I would definitely go and check out her videos because they were really good, and they sort of gave me a little bit of confidence to give it a go. But a few podcasts ago, I mentioned that I wanted to do the Comfort Fade cardigan, and to accommodate my fat self, I think I needed like 11 or 12 skeins, which would have cost a small fortune if I had have bought it from an indie dyer. So that sort of prompted me to go, well, maybe I could have a go at dyeing my own yarn. So, excuse me, I don't know, is it rude that I'm sitting here eating my morning tea? I'm sorry if it is. So I ordered some 100% wool from Bendigo Woolen Mills. So that's in Australia. So it's 100% Australian wool. And sorry, I'm just trying to get all my bits so I can show you. So I ordered 400 grams. So they come in 200 gram balls. So my amazing husband wound off 100 grams. So it effectively gave me 400 gram skeins. Now, I was searching online. Like I said, I was wanting to do the Comfort Fade cardigan. I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just dye up some yarn as a test to see how it goes and to see what I think. And then if I like the colours, I will replicate those colours and I'll put them in my fade cardi. But I was looking online and I came across the beautiful Jody Shawl from Helloooooo, And I just loved it. And I looked at it and I thought, you know, it's pretty simple. I've spoken before about, I've not actually completed a knit shawl. I did start the Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli as well. I got to wedge 4 and then I just cut it and threw it in the bin because I didn't like it. I didn't want to keep knitting on it. And I don't know that it was the pattern. I think maybe I wasn't happy with the colors that I chose, or I don't know, maybe I just wasn't feeling it. Does that ever happen to anybody? Like, you fully start a project and you love it and you are all about it, and you get sort of a bit way through it and you go, what the frick was I thinking? Well, that's sort of what happened. So I just literally cut it and threw it. And I've spoken a lot. I've spoken a little bit about this on one of my previous podcasts. So I am just brutal when it comes to, like, I have no patience to unwind. I just chuck it. It's almost like a cleansing process. And I was watching the Full of Knit podcast the other day. Those girls are so freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, pause this video right now and go and search Full of Knit podcast. Full of Knit. Full of Knit. I think that's what it's called. Oh my gosh, girls, I'm so sorry. But you guys are absolutely hilarious. I will put the information up on the screen of the correct name, because obviously I'm a ding dong and don't write notes or any of that sort of crap, because, you know, that would be professional. But anyway, so I was watching them the other day, and they've just, they're going to host their very first knit along, which is exciting. And it's the Frog It or Finish It knit along. And it basically means that you either frog the pattern, you frog a project, and you clear off the needles so that 2018 rolls around, you've got all these free needles ready for projects to be cast on. But I had to chuckle because on, their last episode, they were like live frogging a project, and, you know, it was so funny. Just go and watch it. But I am so brutal. I just like cut that bad boy and I chuck that out. Like, I obviously rip it off the needles. I don't throw my needles away, friends, but I literally just throw hunks. Well, when I say literally, I've done it twice. I just wasn't feeling it. Anyway, so I thought, well, you know what? I really loved the Jody Shawl. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna actually dye up yarn that is specific for that project. And so I started last week. I dyed up 3 skeins of yarn, which I'll show you. And so this is my first. I sort of went along the lines of this sample that was knit by Joji. I sort of was wanting more of a neutral palette that would go with more things next winter, and so I don't know, something about that picture and the colorways and everything really spoke to me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just go along those lines of a color palette, not necessarily copying exactly. And the thing that I really love about dyeing up yarn is it's almost like it's a surprise at the end of the process, because as much as you can plan what colors you're thinking and how they may play together, you never really know 100%. And then you get this lovely little surprise at the end of the dyeing process after, you know, you've washed it and it's, you know, hung out on the line, and it's really lovely. So this is my first ever skein of hand dyed yarn, and I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, I'm very happy with it. So it is a tonal, so it was a solid dye bath, and I have named the colorway Whisper. So it's blue. It's just a really nice, it's almost like a duck egg, sort of like a duck eggy blue-ish, but it's really pretty and I really loved it. So this is on DK weight yarn. Like I said, it's 100% Australian Aussie wool, and I love it. So a little funny side note about this particular skein. So I had my pot, my stainless steel pot, and I put the dye in, and then I mixed it up and I put the yarn in, and I was actually using my barbecue outside to heat up the pot. And it was taking forever and ever and ever, and that was fine. I was kind of watching it, and it's almost like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. It just takes forever when you're sitting there watching it. So I was watching, and I happened to think to my head, I'm just going to quickly turn the pot. So I went to grab the handles from the stainless steel pot that was sitting on my extremely hot barbecue to turn it, and yeah, I burnt myself. Not only did I burn myself, I then spent the next 3 hours with these 3 fingers under running water because it hurt so badly. And my hubby gave me some like burn cream that he has, and it did nothing. Like the heat that was in the burn was so terrible. And I actually thought at one point, oh my goodness, like I may actually need to go and seek medical treatment because the heat wasn't coming out and the pain was excruciating. It was terrible. And thankfully, finally, praise God, about 3 and a bit hours after I actually did it, I was able to take my hand out of the running water and it not just bang it, like it was like it had its own pulse. It was so full on, it was so painful. But anyway, so in amongst that absolute catastrophe of what had happened, I was still, my hubby is so amazing. I'm like, quick, go and take a photo of what the dye pot looks like now. And, you know, so he was so good. I'm so blessed because not only was he dealing with the crazy wife of his that's like screeching like a banshee going, oh my gosh, it's so sore. And he was so funny. He's like, okay, so on a scale of 0 being completely pain-free and like 10 being childbirth, whereabouts is your pain sitting? I'm like, I'm at 9.5. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. Anyway, so that's my Whisper colorway and I do love it, and that's going to go in my Jody Shawl. And then the second colorway I dyed up, it was a variegated, and this one is called Pebble. And I really love it because, I mean, look, it's blowing out a little bit, but you can see that there are there are flecks of blue there, and there's like burgundy red and a grey base. So it was a grey base yarn that I was going for, and then I just added in little pops of colour. So I added in like the same blue that I used for this skein, and a like burgundy, sort of rusty burgundy colour, and like a really like a green, and it's really turned out lovely. Like I really I'm happy with the brand of dyes that I've been using. So this is an Australian company. It's called Landscape Dyes, and I'm really happy with how they come up and how they work. I have ordered some more dye colours because obviously now I've had a taste of the bug. I want to dye all the yarn. Not really. I mean, I will still absolutely 100% buy yarn from indie dyers. I'm sorry, hubby. At least I'm being honest. But for projects that maybe are bigger, like shawls and definitely like cardigans and stuff, I think I'll probably just dye my own because it's so much cheaper, and there really is a sense of accomplishment and achievement when you dye a skein of yarn and then you actually start knitting with it. So my last skein of yarn for my project is all speckles, and I am all about the speckles, and this colorway is called Rock Pool. And I love how the colors dance and play together. This is probably, I loved the different techniques. Like I said, I had watched Nicole from Helloooooo's dye tutorials, and so I really loved how these colors played together. I loved how the speckles sort of came about. I will insert some pictures of the different dyeing process and stuff now. But yeah, so I really love it. So this, and I have actually cast on my shawl, which I'm going to show you in a moment, but it is so lovely. So this is my very first time as well using Chiagu lace needles, and oh my gosh, I'm not actually sure what the heck I was thinking, like not having tried them before, but like I love them, and I've ordered some sock needles as well in them. I really love the join, and I love the, you know, the ends. These are a size, the ends. Very clearly, I am a very unprofessional knitter. The needles, so these are US size 7, these are 4.5, which I love. And so this is my Jody sweater. This is color 1. So this is my rock pool color, and I really love it. I love the colors. I love how the pops of darker colors come out, and it really makes my heart so happy. And you know, I've really thought about, I've had so many people message me actually after I did my podcast, my last podcast, which was, you know, what does yarn mean to me? And I had lots of really good feedback, so that was amazing. And I think that, you know, as a community, it is all about sensory. It's about how do we find that happiness, and you know, when you're using tangible products like yarn and, you know, knitting and colors, it really does make my heart very happy. So I think that's probably why I've really enjoyed the dyeing yarn process. I've also mentioned on a previous podcast that I have spent a lot of time as a quilter, and I built up a reasonably successful, you know, quilting brand. And so for me, I suppose dyeing up yarn is very similar to choosing different colors in fabrics and things and watching the colors play together. And so it's such an enjoyable process for me. So I absolutely highly recommend, like if you are thinking about having a go at dyeing yarn, I absolutely reckon that you should have a go. Like, I will never dye yarn to sell. I'm just dyeing it because I love it, because it makes me happy. So, on that note, I have also been sewing up some bags. So I've sewn up, this bag is for me. This is actually for my shawl. So it's super cute. It's all different Christmas jumpers or sweaters. And I just did a spot on the inside, and it's got a very cute little Santa Claus stitch marker as well. Oh, there you go, he's super cute. And this is actually using a different interfacing, so it's definitely more of a plush interfacing than the stiffer interfacing that I was using, and I'm really loving it. I just wasn't 100% happy with the other interfacing. I felt like it was a bit stiff at times, and I've used the denim on the bottom because I think that that gives it a nice, like, sturdier bottom base. And so when I do my bags, I only interface the cotton fabric. I don't interface the denim, of course. And the other bag that I have been making is a very cute Christmas undies bag. I know. So I've made a couple of these bags. I'm giving them as gifts. And the inside is stars, and I think that the recipients will really love them. And of course, I've put a cute little Santa stitch marker on there as well. So yeah, I've been sewing, I've been dyeing up yarn, I've been knitting, I've been enjoying the process of being creative. And there's something so refreshing about just embracing the gifts that make our heart really feel happy. And you know, it's embracing, I think, the fact that we aren't all made the same, and that's great. And those of us that are crafty really find a lot of peace and pleasure in just getting to craft in whatever space that looks like. So I've got one acquisition and I've got a giveaway because, oh my goodness, we've got I've hit 150 subscribers. Oh my goodness, shut the front door. What? I don't even understand how that's happened. I literally am so thankful that I have 150 subscribers. I have so much love and gratitude for you guys, because podcasting for me is a way to connect to community. It's a way to meet new friends all around the world. It's a way to encourage and support one another's crafty ventures. So I really love it. So, sorry for the crinkling, but I'm not going to take it out of the packet just yet. But this is Hippo for Thanksgiving by Lolo did it on her, I can't even remember, I think a plush sock. So it's 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 10% tencel. And I do really love that particular base of hers. It's beautiful. So you can see like they're very rich autumnal colours, which is very, very pretty. And I understand completely that in Australia we don't actually celebrate Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving for me is a continual way of living, and I am always wanting to be thankful and grateful for the blessings that I have received. So that's why Thanksgiving Hippo resonated with me, because I thought, well, whilst we don't actually celebrate that particular holiday, I definitely am all about being thankful and continually giving thanks for the blessings that I have. So that's why I bought that skein. Now, like I mentioned, we have got 150 subscribers on my little channel, so that deserves a giveaway. So, the lovely Totes Agogo, which is an Aussie project maker, sent this. I think I've shown this on my Instagram feed. So it's a very sweet little project bag. I have not even opened it because I want to make sure that the recipient gets to have that fresh, open smell. Not really smell, that's the wrong word. Oh my gosh, get it sorted, Ali. Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, like that they get to experience, you know, opening their bag and really enjoying that process. So it does look to me like it's got a plain green lining, and it's so cute, like little spring lambs. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. And she's put some little tea bags and some cute little stitch markers. And so thank you so much for supporting my podcast. I really appreciate it. So this is part of the prize for our 150 subscribers. And the second is this wonderfully gorgeous skein of yarn by the beautiful Lorianne from Arkansas Yarn Co. And it's the Honeybee Knits colorway, and it's gorgeous. It's on her sparkle base. So it's 75-25, so 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and it's so soft and squishy, and it just goes so beautifully with this. So thank you so much to Lorianne for donating a skein of yarn to the podcast, and the beautiful Totes Agogo for the lovely project bag. So how do you win the project? The project. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk today, I've told you. So all you need to do is like and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below and say, hey, awesome, something lovely. What are we thankful for? So everybody just needs to leave a comment below on something that they're thankful for, and they will go into the draw to win the kit. I will post anywhere in the world, and I am so excited that I have reached 150 subscribers. So If you are a maker or a hand dyer, or you make project bags or whatever it is that you do, if you would like to donate a prize for the podcast, I would love, love, love it. If you just send me an Instagram message, we can chat and work something out. But I've been blown away by, the generosity of people that are wanting to, send prizes for the podcast. I will actually learn to speak one day. Today is obviously not that day. So I think that's about it. That's probably about enough rambling for the day, and I actually am really hungry and I would really like to eat the rest of my morning tea, but I don't want to be sloshing with it on, in my mouth on the podcast, in case it actually is rude. Sorry about that if it is, but whatever. So where can you find me? Well, I am absolutely most active on Instagram. My Instagram handle is ali.nickel. I will leave that information, of course, it's across the screen now. Go and find me over there. And I hope that you are having a beautiful day filled with crafty moments and lots of time and things that make your heart just sing, really. So I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. Be blessed. Happy crafting, and I will see you again soon.